This is Introduction to Java Programming and Data Structures, Programming Exercise 3. Now for this exercise, we're going to display a pattern. We're going to write a program that displays the following pattern. So just for a little heads up, this video is going to be pretty short. This video is just going to utilize your knowledge that you learned so far in Programming Exercise 1 and 2, combine it together, and to try to display some pattern like this. Now this isn't tricky at all. It's actually quite simple. So how are we going to do this? So what we have to do is we have to print a set of each characters on a different line. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this whole thing, we're going to print it in one line, and then we're going to grab the next set of line and print that in a new line too. So each character will contain some white space in between the characters to space it out. So that leads to the next question. What is a white space? And that's a keyword we're going to have to know in this exercise. So white space. In Java, white space is considered a character. The character white space is an empty space. You can create a white space by clicking on your spacebar. So simply clicking on spacebar and creating a space, that is a white space in Java. So as you can see, in between this quote, this double quote, there is a white space. So that's all we have to know in this exercise, and we're going to jump straight in to the exercise. I'm going to close that, and we're going to go to our Intellij IDE. We're going to create a new class inside the chapter 1 package, and we're going to name our exercise as Programming Exercise 3. All right, and let's see. So the name of this exercise will be to display a pattern. So I'm going to write that right here. And today's date is the 10th. So 2018 November 10th. All right. So what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to write public static void main, click enter, and there we go. We have our main method. And our goal here is to display something like this right here. So write a program displays the following pattern. I'm going to write that, and this time I'm going to write all that inside a block code. All right. Now what a block code does is that, or a block comment actually, a block comment, is that it takes all this line right here and it simply just sees it as a bunch of comments, and Java compiler is just going to ignore it and not do anything with it. Now of course it's not going to look as nice as I had it. So alright, it looks pretty terrible actually. So you know what? I'm going to remove write program displays the following pattern. Instead, I'm going to write a program that displays Java as a pattern with each character. And that'll be enough for me to understand what I need to do. Now for you, you might, if you could elaborate, or you don't have to, depending on your commenting style, but should definitely always comment. Now what we gotta do is pretty simple. We just use the print method system.out.print, and then we're just going to grab this piece of string right here, and we're going to print it onto the console. So for now, let's see how that looks like when we run it. Oh, no, this was from the previous exercise. There we go. Now what I want to do is actually move it to the bottom, and here we go. So it will look like this for now. So next thing is we're going to grab that next line right here, and we're going to also print it out. .out.print. Now you might notice, if you've been following me for the past two videos, this right here does not print out a new line. This method does not print out a new line. So what are you going to do? So what I'm going to do is to use the escape sequence to create a new line. So if I write that right there, it'll create a new line. So after this, it'll jump to new line and display all of this. So let's take a look and see how that looks like. And we have something like this here. Now, as you notice, there's a lot of white space between here that pushes this A further back. So we don't want that. We want it a little bit closer. We're gonna pull that and space it out, make it look something like this here. Maybe even I could do something like this. All right. Edit that a little. Maybe that looks a little nicer, maybe. And then run that again. But remember, there's a new line right here. That's gonna mess with me. So you know what? I'm gonna actually delete this and put it in the back right there because that suits me better. So that's what you could do. And there you go. So the second I did that, I realized, oh wait, this doesn't look good. There we go. That looks much better. And as a cautionary, I'm gonna write another new line right here. You don't have to. You could say, hey, I wanna use the print line method. Doesn't really matter. But if I were to do everything similar way, then I'll just continue with my escape sequence /n. Right, run program, and let's see how that looks like this time. And hey, it doesn't look too bad so far. So we're going to grab the next one. All right, and then once again, system.out.print. Paste that in here. And don't forget about that new line. And whoa, it looks like a mess. So I'm gonna edit that out. I'm gonna add 2 extra white space right here. I'm gonna actually delete some white space right here. That looks about right. And I'm gonna create another white space right here. And that looks good for now. Yeah, all right. And looks like, guess what? I made a mistake. In Java, you always have to end your statement with a semicolon. I didn't catch that when I ran it, and I immediately ran it. And the good thing with an IDE is it does catch that for you. So it'll say, hey, did you miss a semicolon? Take a look at line 20 at at column 86. There, you are probably missing a semicolon over there. So if I take a look to the left, line 20 right here, column 86, doesn't really specify column. Let me see, yeah, it doesn't. Hey, turns out I did miss a semicolon. Fill that in, and there we go. I fixed my mistake. Now I'm gonna run it again. This time it doesn't say, hey, you made a mistake, and we are good. I think I noticed this V is kind of big. So I'm gonna delete that, go back by delete 2 white space, right? No, let me delete another white space from it. That's the way this will display better. Okay, and I believe we have one more line right here, and that should be it. System.out.print. And this time I'm not going to forget to put my semicolon right here. And of course, let's fix that. There's a lot of I'm going to delete a white space here. I'm going to, oh, this is so weird. How did that A appear over here? It doesn't really matter. You know what, I'm gonna, oh wait, no, that belongs to that. This is the weird one. Delete, put that over here. Create a little more white space there. There we go. And voila, look like I'm done. And here we go, I created my Java. Looks pretty good actually, doesn't it? And you know what, I'm gonna copy that, I'm gonna paste it up. Okay. Tab, 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 no. Tab, tab, no. Yes. Come on. No. No, yes. And here we go. There we go. Cool. So now I know what I did. I can do this right here, right? So that's pretty much it. So what this exercise want to show you is that just because there's white space here doesn't mean there's nothing actually there for Java to fill in. Java actually see this white space, grabs that as a character, right? You could actually see this white space right here too. A lot of white space between here. And it would display that onto the console. And you know what? I think I'm going to edit that a little more. There we go. I'm gonna run that one more time and make my A look a little better. Of course, hey, what you're doing, up to you. This is not about making this look pretty. It's just for you to understand. You utilize the white space, make it to play around, mess around with it. All right, and to show you what you could be doing inside this print method, inside this string, this double quotation. All right, and that will be it for this programming exercise.